delicious. They're huge. They're like 18-inch hot dogs.
How often do you talk to yourself like that?
Well, far too often when my wife's flying, unfortunately. So what I did is I bought the hot dogs at Costco.
Yeah.
They come in a package of about 82. Okay, so I got about 82 hot dogs.
Are they kosher?
I don't know. I don't know well, I don't want to make fun of the contents and get sued, but hopefully they're all beef or beef parts. I don't know what's in them, but they are delicious. I will say, Costco. Is there anybody who can give me a nod? It's had a Costco hot dog. Anybody?
I haven't had a hot dog since 1982.
Okay, Lynn, you had the Costco hot dogs, right?
Yeah, the hot dog and the pizza's great too.
It is. It's good. It's a great deal too.
It's huge.
All right. So do you know you can also buy at Costco the matching buns? Because if you think about it, what good does it do to buy the Costco hot dog 18 inches long if you just have a foot-long bun? So I actually was able to do that.
Those hot dogs are really 18 inches long?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. When you say they're about 18 inches, they're big. That is a big wiener, which will tie into a story later in the show.
Oh, wait. That reminds me of my New Year's resolution. I told you last night I'd give you sex more than once a week.
Jeez, how lucky can I get? The truth is, it's like once a month I'm getting it, but we don't even want to talk about that. All right, so once
like an 18-inch wiener.
All the viewers that are...
Maybe she would stay home more often.
Oh, you hear that? If I had an 18-inch wiener, is that what you're saying?
Flying around the world.
Yeah. Now, listen.
We're back up.
We're back up. Thank you. Anybody that wants to see us on video can now go to elkinsonfriedman.com. So anyway, the problem is when I eat the Costco hot dog, I always regret it about an hour later. And I'm in agony. I'm in agony.
So why do you eat them then?
Because they're delicious. That's the problem. It's like if you have that tooth that wants to come out, and when you're little, you used to wiggle it, hurt and it felt good. Same thing with Costco hot dogs.
Oh my God!
I know I'm the hot dog. What does that mean?
I know I'm going to pay the price. I'll be in the toilet for probably a good hour, hour and a half. But it's worth it at the moment that I'm enjoying that delicious hot dog.
Your show's going right down the toilet right now.
Yes, it is.
How fast do you finish the hot dog?
Well, I am a fast eater. I will say I eat that hot dog too quickly. And I am proud of myself. Last night when I had the hot dog, I had approximately about 2 inches left. So I had about 16 inches.
Why don't you do this?
And I'm talking about hot dogs here.
Why don't you do this? Have the hot dog, get in your car, and drive 3 hours.
What? What does that mean? What do you mean drive 3 hours?
Because you'll never make it.
Oh, I'll never make it. All right, I don't know. Richard, I can't give you one of these. Just think again.
Okay.
So anyway, I've got the hot dogs. I've got about a half a dozen less. I'm just going to feed them the kids. But you understand, when you have a wife that's a flight attendant, you fend for yourself. So hot dogs are very easy. I can just nuke them in the microwave from freezer to rapid defrost in a minute and a half, and that's all it. But anyway, enough hot dogs. So no more New Year's resolutions. One will be sex. Mine will be no Costco hot dogs. What about yours, Richard? There's got to be something. You must have thought of something.
A resolution.
Think about it.
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
Everything's perfect just the way it is.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear it. So no, it is. All right. Then we're going to move on.
Yes.
The first story that I have, and I got to get to it before it gets dated, 10 weird New Year's Eve traditions from around the world. Okay, and in our country, a common tradition I saw in the story here are those people New Year's, called the polar bears that jump into the frigid waters.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a New Year's deal here, apparently, that's known to the U.S., but there are others in other countries, and I found it somewhat interesting, so I will be brief, because my producer said speed up these segments. Okay, in Denmark, for instance, you break dishes.
Okay, that's it. Let's go to the next one.
That's great, right? Says the more dishes that are thrown at you, the lucky you are. That's what Danes do. They throw dishes at your front door.
Well, let me ask you, suppose you don't have dishes, you have paper plates.
I guess you could throw a paper plate. Maybe you get a nasty paper cut. It's probably better. But that's what they do in Denmark. Now, I love this one. It says in Italy, wearing red underwear brings good fortune in the new year.
Really?
Yeah.
And is this men or women?
Well, I don't know. It says in Italy, the color red signifies, too bad that it got cut off here, brings good fortune and calls on the protective presence of the Archangel Michael. And it says Italians from all walks of life don red underwear to shower themselves with good luck. Now, almost as a sight gag, I came this close to putting on my red underwear. I do have a pair of red underwear.
You don't have it on now, though.
I don't.
TMI.
Otherwise,
No?
I'm not beyond pulling down my pants to show you. I think I'll do that when we get to FM. I hear you can get away with more in FM.
Definitely.
Now, does anybody else here own red underwear? I've never asked that question.
I do.
Do you really have red underwear?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I don't think I've seen them. Why don't you put them on later and see what happens? Maybe I'll get to celebrate my New Year's resolution. All right, now, in Greece, it says the first person to enter your house brings good luck. It says in Greece...
What happens if it's your mother-in-law?
Well, then we shut the door and turn off the lights. It says the first person that enters your house in the new moments of the good year must be good-natured, lucky, in order to bring good luck to the house. It says often children are chosen because they're viewed as being the most innocent. So that's Greece.
Greece.
Now, Germany we have here. There's an English comedy sketch dinner for one. That's what it's called. Dinner for One is a revered New Year's Eve tradition. It's an 11-minute long English sketch comedy. It says rarely shown in the U.S. or the U.K., but apparently it's wildly popular in Germany.
Wildly popular.
Yeah, I just found that
sketch
interesting.
For one?
That's what it's called. It says the story follows a 90-year-old Miss Sophie as she throws a birthday party for herself, setting the table for her long-dead friends.
Lovely.
So, sounds like a blast. Okay, and Freddie, I know we're dragging. I'll speed it along. Number 5 in Spain, you eat a grape. It says a grape with each toll of the bell brings you good luck.
What kind of grape? Red grapes, green
It says
grapes?
at the stroke of midnight, Spanish residents stuffed themselves with 12 grapes. There you go, 12 grapes, the grapes of luck. And they try to eat as the minute is counted down, and with each strike of the bell, the Spaniards eat a grape.
Wow.
Finland, a piece of molten tin predicts your fate for the coming new year.
What's molten tin?
Hey, well, here, Freddie, I don't know if I don't know if I can show this. I don't know. I guess it's just a piece of tin that is molten. It says on New Year's at midnight, Finns find the nearest piece of tin, melt it, and pour it into a horseshoe-shaped ladle, and then drop it into cold water. The tin hardens to form a random shape. So,
wow.
I don't know.
Okay. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's
right.
Apparently, if you're in Finland, it's exciting. It says in Panama, where papier-mâché figures of public figures burn in effigy. That's what they do. They burn in effigy a papier-mâché. And lastly, and we're bringing it home here, Freddie, so don't worry. Where's Belarus? Does anybody know Belarus? Belarus? Anybody have a clue? Says women compete in a game of skill in the hopes of landing a new husband in the coming year. It says wherever Belarus is, and
what
feel
did
free
they do
to
with
call.
the old husband?
Listen to this. It says that they place piles of corn in front of each woman and release a rooster to walk among them. Whoever the rooster approaches first will be the next betrothed.
Wow.
Like that? And then the U.S. and Canada, we said we have the polar bears. And last but not least, Mexico. This is almost funny. If in Mexico, to celebrate the new year, they carry an empty suitcase to begin their new adventure.
An empty suitcase, what, across the border?
There you go. I knew there had to be a joke there. That's right. So they pack their empty suitcase and they take off across the border.
Wow.
So that is our first story. And
Well,
I
you know
will
what
say,
they do in Palm Beach County to bring in the new year?
What do they do?
Listen to reruns of the Elkins and Friedman Know Nothing show.
Well, I hope they do that. All right, so that's our first stinking story. Now, this next thing, I love participation stories, and I thought this was kind of amusing.
Yeah.
If I asked you, what in 2014 would you like to go away? That we had this year, something you want to go away.
One of my secretaries in the office, I'd like for
That's a
her
great
to go
answer.
away.
There you go. Now you got one of these. So
The
in
Kardashians.
there you go. That's actually on the list of what I have. The Kardashians got to go. We've had enough Kardashian. We've had enough Kanye West. Goodbye. Go.
Justin Bieber.
Wait a minute. You're hogging the limelight here, wife.
Obama.
Okay, Linda.
Obamacare.
Yeah,
Obamacare, sure.
Linda's not even paying attention. Freddie, can you think of anything that you would say, I've had enough of this in culture, I want it to go away?
Obamacare.
Okay, Obamacare, that's fair
For
enough.
it to
A
go
lot
away,
of
first it
people
has to
in
come
there.
here. We haven't gotten it yet for it to go away.
Now let's talk about some
It's here.
culture.
It's a mess.
Lynn, the board up. What would you like to go away in 2014 besides us? We'll be going away to FM in about January 23rd.
Teenagers.
Teenagers. A perfectly acceptable answer if you have any at home.
Ring, ring, ring.
Ring, ring, ring.
Young Daniel, what would you like to go away in 2014? Give it some thought.
There's all these garbage TV shows out there, I think.
Really? You just want, they'll be canceled soon enough. Well, I have some, and when I say this, you're going to, oh, of course. How about Miley Cyrus?
Yes.
Who wants any more Miley Cyrus? Take your twerking and get the hell out of here, Miley. I've had enough of your twerking.
What is twerking again?
I guess it's kind of, Richard,
What?
what's twerking?
Yeah, twerking.
I don't know. Who wants to
That was the
demonstrate?
number one word Googled.
It is.
But what is
Twerking
it?
is basically when you shake your behind up close and personal. Linda board up. Care to demonstrate? No, just kidding.
That's
Been around for
that's a
ages
word.
in
Is
strip
that-
joints.
What?
Has it really?
Yes,
It's been what? And you
like in strip joints.
It's been around for years in strip joints.
They just renamed it.
Well, I wouldn't know. I'm not allowed to go to any strip joints anymore. Haven't done that in
Instead, you
about
stay
10
home and
years.
eat big 18-inch wieners.
Thanks, dear. Well, all right. Here are a couple other things that I think are fitting around the list. The selfie. How many people out there? The selfie. You know what a selfie
No, I
is?
don't know. I don't even know what twerking is.
Richard, you truly are the Know Nothing Show. You embody the Know Nothing Show because
Thank
you
you.
obviously know nothing. A selfie's when you use your cell phone camera and take a picture of yourself.
And 90% of
then
them
what
are
do you
in
do?
the bathroom. Like, I want to see everyone's bathroom. They
Well,
take the selfie in the bathroom.
they
Because they do
are.
it in the mirror.
Well, here, I'm going to read this to Rich. We've seen enough duck faces, poses in cars, selfies in the mirror. Please
Oh, that's
stop
what I
taking-
wanted to go away. What's that? That duck show? What's the name of that?
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty? You've had enough of Duck
I
Dynasty?
never watched it. I had
Not a
enough of it.
fan?
Even without watching it, I had enough of it.
All right, so far we want to go away in 2014. The selfie, we have the Kardashians, and this is a perfect opportunity for our audience to do it. Now, here's some other things here, and I don't do this. It says over hashtagging. Richard, if you don't know what a
I
selfie is, you don't
hashtag
know what
everything.
a hashtag is.
Yeah, that word gets on my nerves.
Kim, tell everybody what a hashtag is.
It's like a subject, that's trending, like on Twitter or on Instagram or,
That's a hashtag?
Yeah, you hashtag like gratitude or, the Know Nothing Show. Something that,
Well,
you want your followers to-
hashtag is pretty much when you're tweeting and you will hashtag in there to bring it to somebody's attention.
like
correct?
a subject. It could
Right.
be Miley Cyrus or Elkins and Friedman Show or...
Right. Another one here, which I don't find is boring, but the photo bomb. You obviously...
Photo what?
Richard. This is unbelievable.
Do you
The
live under
photo
a
bomb.
rock, Rich?
Yeah.
That what?
No.
Under a rock?
Actually, if people follow our show in the past, they'll know Rich spends his time feeding the pigeons and drinking coffee on the weekend at Starbucks. Correct?
That's
Anyway, a photo bomb
Yeah.
is when I'm taking a picture
Yeah.
and then somebody butts into the
They
picture.
jump in.
Yeah, they jump in the back and make usually a humorous face.
Yes.
This is somebody you know?
No.
It can be, but it doesn't have to be. And actually, the Miami Heat do it with great success, and it's kind of funny. All right, well, while we regroup here and see what Richard does know, why don't we go to our next break, Lynn? All right, we'll
Sounds
be back,
good.
everybody.
Go away and, what's that word again? Twerking?
Yeah, go away twerking.
All right,
Go
no twerking during the break.
All right, we'll be back.
We'll be right back.
Are you dreaming about your next home improvement project? Let the experienced Carbonneau craftsmen help make your dream home a reality. Call them at 954-984-9393 and let them help you redo the things in your home that make it special. At Carbonneau, they specialize in residential door and window design, repairs, and screens. They carry the top brands you know and trust: BHI, Galaxy, Windor, and ES. They'd be happy to create a signature look for your home. Call Carbonneau at 954-984-9393 and let them know you heard about them on the Elkins and Friedman Know Nothing Show. And you'll get a special 10% discount just for mentioning their name. 954-984-9393 is the number for Carbonneau Home Repair. And the sooner you call them and have the home team at your doorstep, the faster that'll make your dream house a reality. Call today or visit their website at carbonneauhomerepair.com. That's 954-984-9393. Schedule a free estimate today. 954-984-9393. Life is so overwhelming right now, isn't it? It Emotional and financial challenges too much? More debt than you can possibly handle? Are you facing divorce or another family law problem? Injured and don't know where to turn? There is a source of solid, affordable legal guidance. At Elkins & Friedman, an experienced lawyer will explain options and treat you with respect and dignity. They help people throughout Central and South Florida solve those problems. This is a law firm you can trust, where they actually pick up the phone when you call. They have a 30-year record of positive results, and they make legal costs manageable for people from all walks of life. Make the call, 954-372-2630. When you visit, you might even meet Tiffany, the office mascot. Elkins & Friedman take the intimidation and the worry out of getting the legal help you really need. Call 954-372-2630 and begin to make sense of your life. Offices in Fort Lauderdale, Boynton Beach, and Palm Beach Gardens. Non-lawyer spokesperson. This is the Elkins & Friedman Know Nothing Show. Time to get back to Alan and Rich for more. If you'd like to join in, just call in 1-800-889-0267 and become part of the show. That's 1-800-889-0267. Once again, Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman.
Look, all I know, I don't think it should be legal to have this much fun. Are we having fun out there?
This should be illegal, what we're doing.
It should be illegal, and it will be as soon as I read my penis story. All right, but before we get to that...
Oh, please.
You know, here's a party. I just have some random articles here, and here's a party that got out of control, and I'll just read it. Boston woman has toe bitten off at New Year's Eve party.
Toe bitten off?
Toe bitten off. It says here, police say a woman had her toe bitten off at a New Year's Eve party in Boston. Officers responded to a city hospital about 5 a.m. Wednesday for a report of an apparent assault in which the victim's little toe, her pinky toe, on her left foot was bitten off. And here's how the story goes. The victim told police she made a sexual advance to another woman at the party in the city's Dorchester neighborhood at about 3 a.m., which upset the woman's boyfriend and led to a fight. Says the Boston police tell the Boston Globe the party's host then asked the victim to leave, which led to another fight outside in which the host allegedly bit off the guest's toe. So I'm thinking the visual here. You're having a fight, you're tussling, and I guess you fall to the ground, and who do you think they're wearing shoes? They're probably wearing shoes in Boston. Do you remove the shoe and do you go?
Right, you move the shoe and take a bite.
This little piggy goes to market. This little piggy goes. Well, how does it go? Does anybody know?
Home. The baby toe is wee all the way home.
All right. Well, somebody bit off a woman's little toe. So what kind of party is this? Where
it's in Dorchester. That's
this
like
is a foot that's been like walking around on the ground.
You know Dorchester. Dorchester's what? Not the most refined area?
Mark Wahlberg. The Wahlbergs are from there.
It's not a real good area.
Tough.
Is that right? That's
area.
right. You're from Massachusetts, Richard, and my wife Kim is from Massachusetts.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we grew up together.
It's the only thing we have in common.
No, we have another thing in common.
I'm afraid to ask what that is. All right. So enough. That was the party. Now, here, just some miscellaneous facts that I was reading today. Do you know?
No, I don't.
That the world is getting fatter. It says
no kidding.
Listen to this: 1/3 of all adults worldwide, and that translates to 1.46 billion people, are now overweight or obese.
That's right.
And it's mostly Americans.
All right. So the bottom line is, I don't know, honey. I don't know if that's true. It says the developing world's dramatic weight gain since 1980 is due primarily to two factors.
I know one factor is an 18-inch hot dog.
Yeah,
Costco.
That's one of them.
You think so? Costco, you think indirectly has caused obesity.
All the restaurants
processed.
Well, not only that,
the portions are too big.
And listen, I love Costco. I do love Costco, and you know what you'd like? You're too cheap to pay the $50 for the membership. But if you did,
that's right.
You know, you go in there and get free samples, particularly on the weekend. A guy like you could fill himself up.
Well,
just
you can
by
go in
walking
for
around
samples
the
without
store.
being a member. They don't know if you're a member. No,
when you go in there, you got to show your card.
I walk right in.
You walk right into Costco?
Walk right in.
Are you making that up?
Swear to God.
When's the last time you walked right into Costco?
About 2 months ago.
That always card me. So what did you...
You're walking like you own the place. They let you walk right in.
So did you say, I feel like a little snack, I'm just going to walk in and get some free eats?
Oh, sure.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah. You know, I'll tell you another story.
Okay.
You know what I used to do when I was up in...
And talk into the mic before Freddie yells at you again.
People can hear me.
All right.
No,
I heard you a lot.
If you go to downtown Disney,
the mic.
if you go to downtown Disney,
Yeah.
right? If you go into the Ghirardelli chocolate store, they give out free samples.
Yeah.
So I walk in, I get my free sample, I walk out, I eat it, I wait about 5 minutes, I walk back in, I get another free sample.
It's unbelievable. And how many times do you do this?
About 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times? All right. There are some places like that. In fact, my boys and I used to go to the Ethel Chocolate Factory. You guys still remember that in Las Vegas? They also get free samples.
Yeah.
And that place used to be one of my favorite places. Anybody ever heard of the Ethel Chocolate Factory in Las Vegas? Delicious chocolates.
Does he actually think that they didn't recognize him coming back in?
Richard?
Did you at least put a hat on the second time you went in?
Yeah, he'd put on his funny mustache.
I wear my Mickey Mouse ears. They didn't know.
Okay, that's...
Well, you weren't the kind of guy that would send your kid in there then for free samples, were you? You're not one of those guys.
It's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that?
No, but actually, truth be known, you used to tell me you did have some sly ways of cutting the line. I remember that.
Yeah, I did.
That's right. And you listen, I don't know if I should say. Don't want to go into that?
We'll save that for FM.
You weren't the guy that told Jeffrey, walk with a limp and I'm going to get you in a wheelchair? You're not that guy, are you?
Well... Kind of.
Jeez. All right, we'll move right on.
All right.
Anyway, the developing world's dramatic weight gain since 1980 is due primarily to 2 factors. It says richer diets and more sedentary lives. And that's true. You know why there are more sedentary lives?
Because there's like 150 television stations on.
Well, that's true.
TV. So you sit around.
And the kids that play video games, they don't go out and do anything anymore. They sit in front of there. They massage their thumbs. Mm-hmm. And that's about it. Or if their wife's not home, anyway. I know there's a joke there. I'll give myself one of these.
That's why you're anxious to see your wife leave. Okay.
He wants those weenies again.
All right, stop with the weenies. We didn't even get to the stories yet. It says richer diets, more sedentary lifestyles. It says people in poorer countries are earning enough money to move from diets built on cereal and tubers. Son, do you know what a tuber is? Tubers?
Vegetables.
It's a vegetable. Tubers are vegetables to diets rich in meat, fat, and sugar. In other words, they move a McDonald's into the neighborhood. It's probably the truth. It says they now have increasingly stationary lives. It's leading to rival global incidence of diseases like cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. So there we are. The fat get fatter. And I know there are probably a lot of jokes there, but I don't think that I should do any fat jokes tonight.
Good. All right, let's move on.
We're done with that story. All right. So I know people have been waiting with bated breath, and I know I have, and we haven't had a good penis story in a while. So here's the story I found today.
Now that people know why we're leaving.
Freddie, I don't know if you want to look this up and put us on our site, but if you simply Google man with 2 penises. So here's the story. There is a gentleman. Now, I have to be careful how I say this, but he says this is a real disease, and the disease he was born with, DIPHALLIA.
Sure.
It's a rare congenital condition that causes him to have 2 sex organs. And he calls himself 3 initials, double, and then D something dude. So the double D dude. Okay, so you can figure out what that is. Now, here's the amazing thing to me, and I'm somewhat envious. Yeah. It says both penises are in the 6-inch range. Okay, and it says, I'm reading this. I'm not making it up. It says one of them can, with a little arousal, it gets even bigger. So here's a guy. And I'm not saying, I think.
Let's go back to Kim there for a
So it's a double header.
That's very good. It is a double header. But can you imagine? He has 2 fully functioning penises. And listen, this is my exclusive. I don't want to hear this on the Love Doctors or Penthouse or frickin' Fracker or what are their names again, Freddie?
Don't worry, you won't be hearing this.
You're not going to do commercials for us?
No.
All right, listen. They have both penises function. And I'm not making this up.
Oh, there's one bladder?
I don't know. It's silent about the bladders. It says here that he's attracted thousands of inquiries from curious men and women about his pitchfork penis. And it says that it says here that he is bisexual and currently in a relationship with both a man and a woman. It says he said partners were a couple before they started dating him.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. So they were a partner. So a man and a woman that were a couple started dating Triple D. Says she is straight, he is bisexual. Said after about 4 months of them knowing me, they found out about and he names his members. Yeah. Says it clicked, and we've all been together since then.
That's a very touching story.
It is a touching story.
So don't touch it somewhere else.
I think there's a joke there. Now I want to be delicate in what I'm saying here.
You're way beyond that.
It says Triple D has claimed, and Freddie's going to find this fascinating. He begged me to tell the story. Claims he has managed to put both appendages inside a woman at once. Now, Freddie, have I crossed the line of good taste yet? Am I right at that line?
You're so far beyond.
Am I beyond?
Yeah.
Well, all right, I'll stop. But this is a real story. I got this out of the Huffington Post Weird News. And lastly, I'll just say, it says that some people have been freaked out by it, but most are pretty curious. And so he seems to be happy. I know there are a lot of jokes there, which I won't go into.
Good.
But,
don't go.
It just begs the question. I don't know. Should I go here, Freddie, or just move on?
No.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
Freddie's begging me to go on. So he has 2 members and 2 hands, so it's double the pleasure. There we go. That's my joke for the night.
Lord.
Isn't that a gum commercial, too? Doublemint gum?
I'm sure there's an element.
All right.
Why don't we go to our last break now?
Thank God. Not a moment too soon. So, don't go away.
Life is so overwhelming right now, isn't it? Emotional and financial challenges too much? More debt than you can possibly handle? Are you facing divorce or another family law problem? Injured and don't know where to turn? There is a source of solid, affordable legal guidance. At Elkins & Friedman, an experienced lawyer will explain options and treat you with respect and dignity. They help people throughout Central and South Florida solve those problems. This is a law firm you can trust, where they actually pick up the phone when you call. They have a 30-year record of positive results, and they make legal costs manageable for people from all walks of life. Make the call, 954-372-2630. When you visit, you might even meet Tiffany, the office mascot. Elkins & Friedman take the intimidation and the worry out of getting the legal help you really need. Call 954-372-2630 and begin to make sense of your life. Offices in Fort Lauderdale, Boynton Beach, and Palm Beach Gardens. Non-lawyer spokesperson. Are you dreaming about your next home improvement project? Let the experienced Carbonneau craftsmen help make your dream home a reality. Call them at 954-984-9393 and let them help you redo the things in your home that make it special. At Carbonneau, they specialize in residential door and window design, repairs, and screens. They carry the top brands you know and trust: BHI, Galaxy, Windor, and ES. They'd be happy to create a signature look for your home. Call Carbonneau at 954-984-9393 and let them know you heard about them on the Elkins & Friedman Know Nothing Show. And you'll get a special 10% discount just for mentioning their name. 954-984-9393 is the number for Carbonneau Home Repair. And the sooner you call them and have the home team at your doorstep, the faster that'll make your dream house a reality. Call today or visit their website at CarbonneauHomeRepair.com. That's 954-984-9393. Schedule a free estimate today. 954-984-9393. You're listening to the Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman Know Nothing Show, with 2 longtime attorneys who are here to share their experience and knowledge and some fun along the way. The toll-free number, if you want to participate, is 1-800-889-0267.
And we're bringing it home now.
We're bringing it
Not
home.
a moment too soon.
Send it away from home.
Send it away. All right. Listen, we'll move on.
Good. Keep moving.
Okay, we'll keep moving. So I guess it's inappropriate. I had another story.
Inappropriate.
I'm just going to read the title, but I'm not going to do the story. But anybody that wants to see this, Indiana woman accused of cutting man's penis. Listen, I don't make this up. There it is. Anybody that's looking.
All right.
You're worrying me. You have penis envy.
Yeah, thanks, dear.
So
All right.
It's going from 2 to 0 at that point.
That's
Yes.
right. As my son just said, we're going from 2 to none. But I will save that story
Yeah,
since
do me a favor, save it for some
unappreciated.
From
other
a double
show.
header to a no header.
That's right. All right. Now, here's an article actually my son found for me, and I also happen to have this article. But did you ever realize...
Freddie is signaling to you.
Yes,
Ellen?
Freddie.
You got a phone call.
Freddie.
We got a
I have
phone call. Who's it from?
You want me to put it on, Rich? I
Yeah.
think her name is Miss...
FCC.
I think her name is Mrs. Friedman.
My wife's calling. I'll be home
All
for
right,
dinner.
let's go ahead and put her on. Are we there, mystery caller?
Hi, it's Jill Friedman, Richard's wife.
Uh-oh. So what do you say? What do you got to say?
I say, why don't you figure out, what about, all right, Kim. Kim, you're a wife of a lawyer here.
Yes.
How about we do a survey on breast implant sizes?
A survey?
Well,
On breast implant sizes.
Listen, the truth is, this might be a good time. Freddie almost had a guess for us. Freddie, can you put up her picture you wanted to bring in? You don't want to do that?
I have to sign a contract to bring her in.
All right. Our producer almost brought somebody in, Jill, that is known for having humongous breasts. In
I
fact,
saw the picture like Z's, double Z's.
it was. And
Kim, we're the wives of these attorneys. We have the ones. They have to work hard so they could pay for ours, huh?
Jeez. All right. Thanks for sharing. Huh?
Is that a hint?
Well, you're saying Richard, you said, was gracious enough to provide you with an ample bosom, correct?
Well, I had to finance
Just one?
How to fight them?
I had to finance it
You had to
Wait, do you only have
finance.
one boob?
to the bank.
That's
No,
not true,
I
is
had
it?
to fight them to keep having more and more surgeries to change it.
Oh, she wanted to go bigger.
You wanted to go bigger, Jill?
You don't want me to spend the money.
But if he was willing to spend the money, and I know you don't like it when I say you're married to the cheapest man on the planet Earth, but how much does a new set cost? Do you have any idea?
Does he make you return them? Does he keep the box?
Does he
and
put
tries to
that in his
return
gift?
'em?
You know, we
Does
had
it go in
another
the box
show, Jill.
closet?
Yeah, Richard saves like things like that and puts them in a closet for a rainy day.
I had
To
to pay
return
for
'em.
on my own.
What do you think you can sell those on eBay?
And I made her buy her own.
Huh?
I made her buy her own.
When's the last time you had your
My
boobs
own.
replaced? As long as we're going there, when's the last time you had your boobs replaced?
Quite a few years ago.
Well, Richard, are they
Save
still,
your money.
Are they still holding up nicely?
Yeah, not bad.
Money, you see, doesn't want me spending my own money.
All right.
All right.
Look, you're satisfied. That's all that matters, and I'm quite satisfied with my lovely wife. And and this would probably be a good time to move on to our last story.
Yes.
Richard. Are you
Thanks
gonna
for calling in, Jill. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
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 All right. Well,
Everything.
thank you for that contribution.
Everything on this show.
Huh?
That's
Put
right.
everything on this show.
That's why we're
Yes, sir.
moving to another station.
Oh, God help.
That's right, before they throw us out. Now, the story, listen, we've talked about penises, we've talked about boobs, so it's only appropriate that, we not leave the buttocks out. Okay, and my son gave me an article, and I never knew this. Buttocks.
Oh, buttocks.
Behind.
There was something else.
All right, do you know that, listen to this story.
Yeah.
Dogs align their bodies along the north-south axis when they poop. Now think about that. Everybody that has dogs, and I never stopped to think about it, but this is an article, came off the internet, and it says, I'll read it again for our listening audience. The next time your dog's taking a poop, note whether or not they're aligning their bodies to the north and the south. And here's the article. Ever wonder why dogs need to get themselves just in the right position to do their business? As it turns out, dogs align their body axis according to the Earth's magnetic field when they squat to poop, a behavior that changes when the magnetic field is unstable. But why do they do it?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why do they do it?
It says dogs are sensitive to small variations of the Earth's magnetic field. Researchers measured the direction of the body axis of 70 different dogs while they were off leash during 1,893 acts of defecation and 5,582 acts of urination over a 2-year period.
Is this a federally funded?
Of course, this
experiment?
is your tax dollars, Richard.
How
So
much did
there's
that
a
cost?
study. It says they found that under a calm magnetic field condition, dogs prefer to orient their bodies along the north-south axis when they poop. However, the behavior did not occur during unstable magnetic field conditions. I don't know what that means.
How often does that happen?
I don't know. And the best predictor for this change of behavior was the rate of change. So here it is, folks. You learned something on the Know Nothing show tonight. Yes, Freddie?
We got a question from the internet wanting to know how you went from his wife's boobs to a dog pooping north and south. Where is the correlation?
There's absolutely no correlation. That's why you're listening to the Elkins and Friedman show, which will be on FM radio. When do we go on FM radio, Freddie?
The first Sunday in February.
I thought it was the 23rd or 4th or somewhere around there. No?
All
right, so the beginning
we have to live up to our contract here first.
So Real
and
Radio.
Then we'll move on.
That's right, 94.3. Look out, we're coming. So love doctors, don't get sick.
There's no stopping us.
That's right. There's no stopping us because you won't hear anywhere else where dogs take a poop. Now, we've got a few more minutes.
The show's going down the crapper.
Thank you, hon. All right. Well, listen. We'll talk about something that's more appropriate.
Yeah,
I have a couple articles just to fill in time since people didn't want me to do the other story. Now I found this story kind of interesting.
Okay.
There's a woman in Hawaii who had to apply and get a law passed so that she could fit her name on an identification card or driver's license. Guess how many letters she has in her last name?
42.
Pretty close, Richard. 36 letters in her last name. And she's from Hawaii, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name, but it's 36. It says a Hawaii woman whose name is 36 characters long has finally gotten things to fit on her driver's license. And it said her surname consists of 35 letters plus, and I never heard of this, an OKINA mark, which is used in the Hawaiian alphabet. She got her new license after the state transportation decided to change its policy and expand from, I guess, up to, it used to be, I think you had room for 35 characters. Now they've arranged it so anybody with up to 40 characters can do it. All right, so not particularly entertaining, but I thought I'd point that out since we're just looking for time. A couple things I found interesting.
Yes.
Let me just see at random and tell me what you'd like to hear.
Tell me something interesting.
All right, man's body found in car at shopping center in Boca. Since we live in Boca, I thought that was interesting. It says a man's body was found inside a car in a parking lot in Palmetto Park Square shopping in Boca Raton. They got the call about 3 p.m. Now, I don't know if this is, I'm going to guess his name was Saul. Saul was just sitting in his car when he expired. And in Boca...
Was it an older gentleman?
I think he was an older gentleman. Since the car was parked in between the post office and the Publix, no signs of foul play. So, just there. Now, has that ever happened? Again, you just go by?
He was probably listening to one of our old shows, and that just...
And
that did him in.
Or maybe he had a heart attack. I don't know. But anyway, I thought that was one story that caught my attention. Another one, man gets arm stuck in packing machine. I'm just wondering, he almost qualified.
Was that in Boca too?
For stupid. It was in Boca, Richard.
Boy.
Says a man was recovering in the hospital late Monday after one of his arms became trapped in a packing machine in West Boca Raton. He was at the Thomas Produce. I think people know where that is.
Yeah, they're big.
Clint Moore and 441.
Big company.
So I'm thinking, how do you actually get your arm caught in a packing machine?
Well, why don't we ask him?
Well, I guess we could, except I don't know. He's probably here. He's at the Delray Medical Center. So I'm sorry it said he's that Thomas Produce, one of the largest vegetable growing operations. Obviously, this man has the intellect of a vegetable to actually stick his hand in there and get it caught. And lastly, this was a trifecta. Right between these two articles, woman tries to run over boyfriend on their anniversary.
This is in Boca too?
Boca too.
Boy, those people in Boca not have fun.
Says a woman got upset with her boyfriend on their special day, and she says that she intentionally rammed his parked car, and I think she was unhappy because I think he forgot her anniversary date. So, honey,
he forgot it.
I know we have one coming up, and I think it's the 10th.
Oh, when is it?
And I remember that it's the 10th.
So, what do you have planned for this special day?
Do we have anything planned? Huh? Are we going to go anywhere?
I don't know.
Why don't you go to Costco?
We'll go to Costco. But I'll just give her my free winner. Oh, there, I crossed the line again, Freddie. All right, anyway. So that's the story. What do we have, 2 more minutes? 2 more minutes?
We have 1 minute.
We have 1 minute.
So let's tell us about...
Okay, here, lastly, do you know Rob Ford, the Toronto mayor, stripped for, being the crack-smoking, dancing mayor?
Right.
He's running for re-election.
He's going to get a lot of votes.
Running for re-election, and apparently...
He should just be running, period.
And he's proud of himself. He declared himself Canada's best mayor.
Best
in the
mayor.
largest city.
Who's he comparing himself to?
He filed for re-election. Wow. Good news, Richard. I almost hear the music signaling the end of this miserable show.
This was a great show tonight.
It was a great show tonight.
I enjoyed myself.
Did you enjoy yourself?
I did.
Well, I could go back and recap all the interesting things we did.
Well,
but
don't
instead,
bother. I don't want anybody to know.
Let me ask young Daniel. Daniel, have you had a good time? Get close to the mic.
Yes, I have.
Did you learn anything interesting today?
Yeah.
What's the most interesting thing you learned?
Just happy to have one.
Just happy to have one. Well, all right, next week we'll be talking about my losing my testes to my wife, but that's another story. I guess that's it, everybody.
All right.
With that, should we say goodbye?
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. We'll see
you next
week.
Friday, 7 o'clock.
You've been listening to the Elkins and Friedman Know Nothing Show, where maybe you learned a little something in spite of them. To reach Alan Elkins or Rich Friedman at their offices, call 954-772-6014 or 561-738-5988. Out of area, call toll-free 1-800-922-1277 or go online to elkinsandfriedman.com. Friedman is spelled with 2 E's. Be back here next week for more from Elkins and Friedman and their Know Nothing Show.